What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with another Aha remix. And we're going to listen to another remix of Velvet. Once again, shout out to Graham, who provided these remixes a while back, as well as Sophia, who's provided some excellent and insightful notes. And we're going to listen to the Phazz remix of Velvet. Now, I happen to know Phazz is like this down-tempo, trip-hop, jazz type of outfit. I think they're from Germany, but don't quote me on that. I suppose I could look it up on Discogs afterward. But yes, the point is, I am familiar with this artist, but mostly just from seeing their name or, people talk about them. I think I read about them at some point in the past. Meaning, I can't think of any tune or remix by them specifically, but I've definitely seen this name before, and I think they're a multi-person, down-tempo jazz type of outfit. So in that regard, and given that Graham's note on this was that it was sort of jazzy, that's what I'm expecting. Maybe a bit of like trip-hop atmosphere, but with some jazz instrumental stylings. And again, in that context, I always wonder how they may use the vocals of the original. Do they keep them more or less in their place or in their natural idiom? Do they put echo or other effects on them? Do they alter the tempo or the pitch of the vocals? So yes, that's my curiosity in advance. Let's hear what it is in practice. This is Aha and Velvet, though it is the Phazz remix, or rather Phazz mix, one of the tracks released on the Velvet single.
Like velvet, her face cut from stone, her eyes when she's smiling will never reach home, but hear how she sings. Touch would be tender, her lips would be warm, but when we're together, I'm always alone, but hear how she sings. Her skin is like velvet, so I went to her home. Her place like a palace, with things you can't own. Her skin is like velvet, but here how she sings. Here how she sings. Here how she sings.
as someone who likes jazz, trip hop, and down tempo, I think this is a lovely version that synthesizes those different elements. I like some of the particular jazzy touches, that very mellow and soft brass flourish. It's not even really like a brass melodic line, it's just a little flourish. Those dainty and light piano runs, which we hear a couple times. And yes, it has a lush, echoic, even dreamy quality to a lot of it. Morton's voice is more or less straight away for the most part. Obviously, there's some moments where it begins to fragment and digitize, often at like the measure transitions, which gives it a more electrified and futuristic kind of feel. Indeed, there was a moment during this where I felt like I was in this like a cafe in a future sci-fi like anime movie or something. Not like cyberpunk, which is kind of dystopian, or at least it's like super saturated high technology but low culture. More in like a positive future sci-fi setting, but again like a cafe but in a world that is more technologically advanced than our own. And I enjoy the feeling of the tune, which again is like languid and slow, but also smooth and flowing. And there's some moments where suddenly all the focus goes to Morton's incredible vocals, and I'm thinking about the lyrics, which is, sometimes less of an experience in a remix. If it's like a club remix, it's like, number one, you're thinking about how they're integrating the vocals, but by and large, it's like, oh, that synth line, and it's got a driving kick drum and so on. And I'm not thinking about the lyrics as I do in the normal track. Whereas here, again, at a couple moments, the sonics are there, they're supporting, they're atmospheric, but they allow the vocals and the lines to do what they're doing thematically, like functionally. So yeah, I think this is a respectful and tasteful, and yet obviously very sonically different version of the tune. And I wonder, compared to the previous jazzy remix I did, whether this one is seen as more fitting, or using the vocals more effectively, which that seemed to be a comment on the previous reaction, where it was like, I like the jazzy parts, but it's weird to use the vocals in the way they do. So I wonder if the majority or consensus sentiment here will be that this one was employing the vocals in a more regular or acceptable way. But I really enjoyed this one, and again, it's another suggestion that maybe I need to look into Phazz a bit more notably, or again, I kind of know them through reputation, not so much by their music, but hearing this, it makes me feel like, maybe I should be looking into their music. So yeah, once again, I'm enjoying all these different takes on these wonderful Aha tunes. Let me know what you think of this remix, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.